Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I thank our witnesses for being here today. And I'd like to thank you for your commitment to our advancement in space, Golden Dome, and nuclear modernization, all which are critical. And also, I understand we're going to start some reproduction of the MQ-9 Reaper drones, which you, Mr. Secretary, and Ms. Secretary share my great state of Tennessee, and we know the 118th Air Wing of the National Guard operates Field and conduct many of these missions, and they do so with great precision. So thank you for that. Secretary Hegseth, you commissioned as an infantry officer in the U.S. Army National Guard in 2003. You've been deployed to Iraq, Afghanistan, Guantanamo Bay. You have been awarded 2 Bronze Stars, the Combat Infantryman Badge, Joint Commendation Medals, 2 Army Commendation Medals, among other recognitions. You have seen military actions from both an operational and service member perspective. Have you ever seen operations with the scope and scale and complexity of Midnight Hammer, Operation Absolute Resolve, and Operation Epic Fury?
Thank you for the question, Mr. Congressman. Not only have I not seen missions like that, but if you earnestly go into our formations right now, and you talk to colonels and majors and staff sergeants and 2-star generals, and you ask them about the environment of our military right now and its capabilities right now, compared to under the Biden administration, under Obama, they will tell you it is night and day. Even the ranking member acknowledged that the troops performed incredibly well over the past 15 months and have demonstrated to the world. These are not new troops in a lot of cases. These are the same troops with new leadership under President Trump, who gives them every authority, under a department that ensures they have what they need. I have operators looking at me saying, for the first time ever, we have everything we need to accomplish the mission, both in equipment and in authorities. That matters when you go 37 hours around the world for Midnight Hammers. That matters when you go downtown in Venezuela and grab the indicted dictator of a country in the middle of the night in the most fortified location. That matters at the outset of the Iran conflict. It matters during Operation Rough Rider, which there's a reason why the Houthis aren't on in this fight right now, because they experienced 50 days of the American military under President Trump. That matters in the Caribbean and our fight against designated terror organizations. This military is unleashed, and morale is at a level that this country has not seen for decades and decades because of the leadership of President Trump and because this War Department allows them to get back to basics. No more distractions, no more debris. It's simple accountability, training, standards, lethality, and they respond to it. And it's that response that's manifest in highly and historic successful military operations led by our incredible joint force, who are grateful to have a commander-in-chief that has their back.
Well, I can tell you for that, our nation, myself, and all of us are incredibly grateful. Secretary Hegseth and General Caine, with your vision and steadfast commitment to our nation's service members, you have both overseen the beginning of a generational transformation of our armed services. This budget request reflects that commitment by building and sustaining our defense industrial base, increasing service member pay, housing, and benefits, robust funding for Golden Dome missile defense and space capabilities, and the emphasis on the peace through strength doctrine outlined in the National Defense Strategy. Based on the Defense Department's recent track record of successful missions, can you share some examples of military action that illustrate exactly how your leadership and vision for the Department of War is translating the peace through strength doctrine into an operational reality, and what psychological impact that may have on our near-peer adversaries, such as China and Russia? And I'd like to get both yours and General Caine's perspective, if you can take 30 seconds each.
I'll keep it brief. Reestablishing deterrence was one of the core pillars of what we set out to do after Afghanistan, after October 7th, after the war in Ukraine, after Lloyd Austin went AWOL for a week and no one seemed to care. The world took notice of that. And through the actions we've taken swiftly that I just laid out, the world has recognized that American power is back, and the willingness to utilize it shows that we can achieve peace through strength.
And General Caine, in terms of our adversaries?
Yes, sir. You know, when we look at the totality of actions that we've done over the last year, one thing leaps out at me that I think is clearly and unambiguously seen by our adversaries or those that may consider it, and that's our ability to integrate and synchronize a whole range of capabilities that we have in the joint force, information, cyber, you know, deception, jamming, air power, sea power, land power, et cetera. And I think that ability, and I'm so proud of our joint force, those young
Gentleman's
enlisted.
time's
Support journalism you trust. Support PBS News. Donate now, or even better, start a monthly contribution today.